Cleveland Browns are the definition of Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. This team has found the most amazing ways imaginable to lose games in the final minutes and seconds. Instead of writing a whole book series on it, we narrowed it down to the best 10. I'm Justin's Fraction, and today TPS presents 10 hilarious Cleveland Browns blunders. Browns blundered. 10 hilarious Cleveland Browns blunders that cost them the game. Alex and your alliterations. Is that the right word? We'll go with that. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 10, Blowing Opportunities 101. The Browns visited the Miami Dolphins in Week 3 of the 2016 season. Please know that Miami was also 0-2 and also on the ropes already, so the Browns had themselves a prime opportunity to win. The game was tied 24 apiece with less than a minute to go. The Browns strip-sacked quarterback Ryan Tannehill and had the chance to win the game. Just a simple field goal in the hot Miami weather, and this game was in the bag. The Dolphins would go on to win the game in overtime because, the Browns aren't capable of taking advantage of these golden opportunities. Number 9, BOTTLEGATE. Okay, this isn't really funny and we're not laughing. It was just thousands of disgruntled fans acting like clowns, but we had to put it on the list. After all, it's such a Cleveland way to lose a football game. The Browns hosted the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 14 of the 2001 season. Cleveland was trailing 15-10, but they were in position to win the game late. Quincy Morgan caught a fourth down pass to keep the game going, but even though the Browns ran the next play, referee Terry McAuley said there was a problem with the replay system. He reviewed the play and ruled Morgan's pass incomplete. Browns fans began littering the field with bottles. For player and referee safety, McAuley had to call the game.
Fight. And now they're going to call the end of the game. Unbelievable.
Only the Browns would lose because their fans interfered. Number 8, keep your helmet on. The Browns hosted the Kansas City Chiefs in the 2002 season opener. Leading 39-37, Cleveland just had to prevent the Chiefs from pulling off a miracle play. They did just that, moving to 1-0 on the season. Now hold your horses, though. Dwayne Rudd took off his helmet during the final play, believing the Browns had the win locked up. He was flagged for a penalty, since the rules forbid such a thing.
Unsportsmanlike penalty through his helmet.
That gave the Chiefs another chance, and of course, they delivered.
Ball is still in play, so that's the first mistake. The throwing of the helmet as you're celebrating the second mistake.
And so
the weird thing is that the Browns actually made the playoffs that season despite Rudd's big-time mistake. Number 7, Phil Dawson hooks it. The Browns hosted the St. Louis Rams in a 2011 game that featured two teams in contention for a first overall pick, I guess. Is that a nice way to put it? When two bad teams play, you usually see one of them lose in the most ridiculous fashion. This Browns-Rams clash was no different. The ultra-reliable Phil Dawson had a 22-yard field goal attempt to put his team up with just over 2 minutes left, but a botched snap caused Dawson to miss it by a mile. The Rams melted the clock and won 13-12. The Browns were met with boos after the game, and rightfully so. Number 6, 2002 versus Steelers. The Browns-Steelers rivalry is as one-sided as it gets. That's because anytime the Browns seem to have Pittsburgh on the ropes, they always find a way to screw it up. Cleveland visited Pittsburgh in Week 4 of the 2002 season. The game went to overtime, and a Browns interception gave kicker Phil Dawson an easy chance to win it, but he missed it. Later in overtime, the Browns blocked a game-winning field goal attempt by the Steelers on a second down. But guess what? The ball never crossed the line of scrimmage, and Pittsburgh recovered it, giving them another chance on third down. As you may have already guessed, the Steelers would use that second chance to boot the game-winning field goal. Number 5, we almost beat the Patriots. Browns equals the NFL's biggest laughingstock. Patriots equals the golden franchise of the 21st century. And believe it or not, the Browns are pretty much on the verge of leaving Gillette Stadium with an ultra-convincing victory. Rob Gronkowski suffered a season-ending torn ACL. Jason Campbell had a phenomenal day, and the Browns looked like they had the game in the bag late in the fourth quarter. But this is the Browns we're talking about, and they were up against the Patriots, so you know how this ended. A Patriots touchdown? Onside kick? And a second touchdown. followed by a Browns missed field goal. And the collapse was complete. Final score, Patriots 27, Browns 26. Number 4, Zane Gonzalez's bad day. The nice thing for the Browns is that they beat the New York Jets in Week 3 of the 2018 season to win their first game since December 24, 2016. But a few days before that, the Browns pulled off one of the most impressive losses we can imagine. This group was so close to shocking the New Orleans Saints on the road. Except, kicker Zane Gonzalez kind of botched it. The 23-year-old Gonzalez missed one extra point and one field goal earlier in the day. After his Browns tied the game in the final minute, Gonzalez proceeded to miss another extra point. The Saints went down and took the lead with less than a minute left. Gonzalez ended his day by missing a 52-yarder that would have forced overtime. It was just another sad day in the land. Number 3, Hibernation versus the Bears. Tim Couch and the Cleveland Browns visited the Chicago Bears in Week 8 of the 2001 season. This was a gutsy team effort by the Browns. Couch did just enough and the defense held Chicago to 7 points. And really, how can you blow a 14-point lead with a half a minute left? The Browns forgot how to recover an onside kick, how to defend against a Hail Mary, now to avoid throwing a pick 6 in overtime. On the flip side, at least the long-suffering Bears fans went home happy. A battle of two long-time losing teams, only one of them could lose, and it had to be the Browns here. Number 2, Monday Night Meltdown. The Browns hosted the Baltimore Ravens in Week 12 of the 2015 season. Cleveland had the chance to pull off a rare season sweep against their AFC North foes. With the game tied 27-all and only 3 seconds remaining in regulation, Browns kicker Travis Coon stepped up to try to boot the game-winning 51-yard field goal. It's one thing if Coon misses the field goal, but how on earth do the Browns find a way to lose like that? Number 1, the fumble. It's widely considered the most devastating loss in the history of Cleveland sports. The Browns visited the Denver Broncos in the 1987 AFC Championship game. John Elway and Bernie Kosar performed one of the greater quarterback shootouts in playoff history, but it was Denver who held a 38-31 lead in the final minute. Cleveland marched to the Denver 8-yard line, and with a minute left, running back Ernest Biner was handed the football. But because it's the Browns and all, Biner fumbled the ball near the goal line and the Broncos recovered. The good news is that Biner would win a Super Bowl with Washington, so this didn't completely define his career. The bad news is that this would start the trend of the Browns botching big moments in big games. What do you think is Cleveland's most hilarious play? Let us know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.